All right, so as I prepare to embark on yet another trip to Guatemala, the land of the eternal spring, I can't wait to get there. Just as the cold starts creeping in here in Maryland, I had to bring in all my tropical plants to make sure that they survive the winter. But as I was packing, I said to myself, you know what? Occasionally I get asked by subscribers and friends and people on the street, what gear do I use as a travel content creator? And I've really never discussed that on YouTube. I know there are a lot of videos about it, but everybody has, you know, their own things that are their favorites. And I thought it might be a fun video just to share with you guys what are some of the oldies but goodies that are stalwarts in my travel bag. Some of the stuff I'm going to share with you are old school trusty workhorses that have followed me through airports, jungles, tuk-tuks, and way too many humidity battles in Guatemala. But I also have a few new toys this time that I'm dying to try out. All right, so without further ado, let's dive right into what gear is coming with me to Guatemala. My old trustworthy things, some shiny new toys, and some stuff that I probably shouldn't have bought at 2 a.m. on Amazon. Let's get started with the first item that always comes with me when I'm making travel content out on the road, and that would be my backpack. You need something to carry all your equipment in, all your gear, your cameras, your lenses, your memory card. And this bag has been with me probably like 10 years now. It's a bag from a company called Langley. I don't know if you can see that there. They were one of those Kickstart companies, I think, a startup company. And I just fell in love with the look of this bag. There's camera bags out there that, you know, have some of the same functionality with the front opening pocket where you can carry all your cameras. I use it, in particular, I use it for my Osmo Pocket. I put my drone in here, you know, a little travel tripod. This one's great, by the way. This is the Insta360 instead of carrying a big tripod. Another piece of travel gear that always comes with me. I like the front pocket here. This, you can carry like, you know, little knickknacks. This is my mouse, my Logitech mouse. This is also a great thing to bring along for my laptop, which we're going to talk about next, I think. And it's just sexy, right? I like all the leather details, the materials like that Navy SEAL dive suit. So it keeps everything, it's waterproof, it keeps everything nice and dry. This thing has gone with me through jungles, through rivers, through up volcanoes, you know, through dusty towns, and it's always protected everything for me. So that's just fantastic. The side pockets I use for like battery, power banks. This one we're going to talk about as well. Oops, I almost dropped it there. We'll talk about that in a second. Always comes with me. And then let's just put it over here because we're going to talk about it anyway. And the top part I use mainly for easy access to things that if I'm going through the airport, I need to take out my passport, or I need earbuds, or of course my favorite Tom Ford Raoul sunglasses. Love these things. And all my cables and, you know, SD, portable SD, memory cards and that kind of thing are right there. And all my, you know, products like liquid products that you got to pass through the TSA X-ray machine. Those all, I separate them by day and night. And those all find their home up here. And then I attach these carabiners. They're really good. And, you know, this thing is so strong that you can just hang this anywhere and the zippers will not break. They will not break. And I just love this bag. I can't say enough about it. So yeah, Langley. If you want a nice bag that's going to last you forever and keep all your camera gear nice and dry, I highly recommend this one. But while we're at the bag here, while we're in the bag here, let me open this up. And oh, that's what I want to show you. So aside from just being sexy looking, it's functional and comfortable. So in the back here, you have this padding that is so comfortable, keeps you upright with a nice posture. but it also is, because it's a little bit stiff, it does have some padding, and there's a secret compartment here where you could probably, you know, hide your passport or something like that. But the reason I mentioned the stiffness, because there's a compartment inside the top area where you can put your laptop. And this is something that always comes with me when I travel, because I want to edit on the road, maybe in a nice, beautiful coffee shop in Antigua, Guatemala, or wherever I am in the world. And you need something that's lightweight, that has high battery life. This is what I use. So this is what I use because I edit things on DaVinci Resolve, and I found that Apple, for some reason, is the best computer for handling DaVinci Resolve's, you know, high edits. I love this for the form factor. Look how thin this is. This is the MacBook Air, my MacBook Air. This is the M3 model. There's an M4 model, but I like the M3 because the battery life is outrageous. I think I can be in a coffee shop for 3 days and never have to charge this thing. It's amazing. And yeah, it's nice and lightweight. So this comes with me whenever I travel. Just, you know, super thin, super lightweight, amazing battery, just incredible. But if you do need battery, what I would recommend, and I bring this with me when I travel, is the item that I had just taken out of the side pocket. And this is, I don't know if I can get the light on here. Well, maybe not. Yeah. So this is the UGreen power bank. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me focus there. And this is 165 watt, I believe. 165 watt, yes. This thing will charge my MacBook Air, my cell phone, some earbuds, and I can be all day in a cafe working, editing video that I've shot. And this thing is a workhorse. It's great. It will keep everything juiced up. Probably could charge things like 3 times over, to tell you the truth. But what I do also is I keep this in the side pocket of my Langley bag. And the reason I do that, because I just have to flip open the side pocket, and there's a retractable USB-C cord here that I can just pull out and charge my phone on the go without even taking my backpack off, right? And the cool thing, it's retractable, so it goes right back, snaps back in like that, and there you go. So you have power on the go. Very, very good product. I don't think it was that expensive. I can't recall quite what I paid, but I think it was around, you know, the $65 mark on Amazon. But yeah, highly recommend this if you want power on the go. All right, so the first piece of actual camera gear that I'm totally enamored with, totally in love with, it's been a game changer for me as a travel content creator, is my Osmo Pocket 3, as you can see here. I'm not gonna hold it up to the camera because I'm actually filming on it right now as I'm talking to you. This little camera, it's had to be the most famous camera in the last 2-3 years over the internet. I think it's been around 2 years maybe, is a total game changer, because I used to carry around like heavy equipment, like my Canon 90D with the camera cage and the handles. It was so burdensome and so heavy. If I wanted to, you know, film something really quick, I had to set up so many things, and it just made you not want to do it, or you just lost the moment and you couldn't do it. With the Osmo Pocket 3, I can just put it in a sling bag, and as soon as I see something, I can just whip it out and start filming, or just have a dialogue like a vlogging camera. I can stick it to a metal post or a little, you know, put a little tripod and talk to you while I'm having dinner or lunch or breakfast somewhere. It is so cool, and it's very discreet. That's the other thing that I like. When I used to film with that big 90D, oh my God, everybody noticed you when you were out there filming, let's say in Kayala or, you know, at a restaurant. Oh, God forbid I would bring that into a restaurant. It's so wonderful. It's 4K, has, you know, 3-axis gimbal, so it's fantastic. But yeah, I highly recommend the Osmo Pocket 3. It's just been a game changer for me as a travel content creator. Okay, the next piece of gear that I always traveled with, also in the DJI family, is my Mini Pro M3. I say that I always traveled with it. I won't be traveling with it this year because, unfortunately, if you watch my last video about Mystic, I finally crashed this thing. It's not a matter of if you're going to crash one of these drones, it's a matter of when. It's like having a motorcycle. I don't care how great a driver you are or a biker you are, you will lay down the bike eventually. And this finally met its fate as we were filming Crawl Space up in Mystic, Connecticut. Got a great car scene. I'll show you that last scene maybe before I went into a power line. But I had treated this thing like a baby for like 5 years, and well, it finally met its death, its fate. And I always traveled with this controller, which I love because it had the dedicated screen. Fantastic. Made things easy. You still get, anxious when you take one of these things up and you fly it way out there. Having a dedicated screen on the controller really took a little bit of the anxiety away and made you feel a little bit more confident and calm as you were flying it. But what I had to do was invest in a cheaper DJI drone. So it was on sale during Amazon Prime week. So I bought the Amazon DJI 4K. It still films in 4K. Matter of fact, it looks just like it, but it doesn't have all the, avoidance sensors on it, which a lot of help that did with this one. So wish me luck. And if I crashed that one, it was only like $259. So, whereas this one I lost like $1,000. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, it's a new purchase, is the Mic Mini. Now I already had, when I bought the Osmo Pocket, I got the Creator Combo, and that comes with the DJI Mic 2, which is fantastic, but I just wanted something with a little bit smaller form factor. And Amazon had a sale during Prime where these things, where they were normally, I don't know, they might have been as high as $100, they were like $40. And if you already have the Osmo Pocket Creator Combo with this mic, you don't need to buy the whole kit with the 2 mics and the receiver that the Mic Mini comes with. You just need one more mic, and it hooks up flawlessly to the Osmo Pocket. Very easy. And that way you can do interviews, right? So when I'm down in Guatemala, I'm thinking about doing sort of a podcast type interview with my cousin, and I can hook one mic up to him, one mic up to me, and it goes right up to the Osmo Pocket. And the great thing with these mics, I used to, travel with the big Canon 90D and the Rode mic, and sometimes I didn't know if I was actually hooked up to audio. It was frustrating. I would film something and find out that the audio wasn't running. With the Osmo, the minute you connect this to the Osmo Pocket, the minute you open the screen to start filming, this automatically connects. So it takes all the anxiety away of thinking, do I have audio on this video footage I'm shooting? And we all know, an audience will forgive bad video, but they won't forgive bad audio. So audio, very important. I highly recommend this little mini mic. It's excellent. All right, so another piece of camera equipment that always comes with me when I travel is a little selfie drone, mini drone. I'm sure you've heard of it. And it is the HoverAir. So here it is. This thing is fantastic. It's like having a cameraman with you wherever you go, filming you as you're walking down the street or maybe crossing a river, wherever, because you just open it up, you push a button, you throw it up into the air, and then you just start walking. This thing will pan, it will follow, it will orbit, has all the different features right up here. You just push each button if you want orbit, if you want pan, if you want rocket, where it shoots up, and you can even do a custom setting, which I think I have that on pan follow. Yeah, and the fantastic thing, it's so portable. You can literally just put it in your pocket, whip it out, just like the Osmo. I like things that are run and gun, that are very easy to use. And when I'm done with it, I can just put it right back in my pocket. So this is something that always comes with me, and I absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. So this little gadget is one of the things I bought at 2 a.m. off Amazon, sort of an impulse buy, is the Ulanzi, I guess you would call it a little camera tripod type thing. But there is the Ulanzi tripod M30, And then there's the M38. Now the difference between the M30 and the M38 is that the M30 doesn't have this magnetic backing, right? That you can stick up to anything metal and it acts like a tripod floating wherever you are, wherever you need it. But the reason I wanted this is because my Osmo Pocket, I bought an attachment that has a magnetic backing, so I can stick it onto something, put on active track, and then the camera will just follow me. As long as it's metal, it could be a refrigerator, it could be a light post or whatever. And it just gives you different angles, different ways of getting a shot, right? So I wanted that same functionality for my cell phone. And there was nothing out there for that. I mean, I had the Gorilla, tripod that I could like wrap around things and hold the cell phone. But to me, you always had to sort of line the shot up just perfect and all that. With this, if you have MagSafe on your cell phone, all you got to do is snap it like that, right? Isn't that cool? There we go. All you got to do is snap it like that. And if you want to use the front-facing camera or the back-facing camera, you can just flip it around. Isn't that cool? You can just flip it around like that. I love it. I love it. And this thing has so much functionality. So, like I said, you can flip it around if you need it like that. Acts like a carabanger. I hook it right onto my Langley backpack. So if I need to get a shot real quick, just unsnap it, and I'm ready to go. It is a stand. So if you put your phone there, right? Maybe you're in a restaurant or you just want to do a quick vlog. You can just set it down on the table and you have a stand just like that. And you can start filming. Another thing that it does is you could do a stand like that as well. It has these two little legs. Another thing you can do is turn it into a tripod. So there you go. You have a nice little tripod. And then there's more. There's more. There's this little piece here that you can flip out and hang it from a ledge or your computer to get a top-down shot. If maybe you're reviewing a product. I don't do product reviews really, but you could hook it up like you see here. Have a top-down shot of a product or maybe a dish that you're eating. So pretty cool. Lots of different ways you can use this thing. I'm sure there's more. I just haven't figured them all out yet, but I think this is gonna definitely find a spot in the permanent rotation with my camera gear. So yeah, this was a good buy. This was a good buy. Now the buy that I said that was kind of gimmicky, it's right behind me here. I can't think of many case scenarios where I'm gonna use this thing, but I'm a gadget guy, I had to have it, so Smallrig, congratulations, you got me on this one. Because it's basically just a flashlight, right? But you look for different lighting ideas. This one is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of bright in here, but you can have a yellow light. That's kind of cool. A blue spotlight. You can go white, you can go red. So it has a bunch of different colors, like the warm color here. If you need something more dramatic, you can make it bigger by just extending this little piece right here. Like that. You got more of a spotlight, and then that's a little bit of a bigger light. That would have looked kind of cool in this video. I should have sort of shot it this way. Well, I can use it here, but I won't use it on the road. And then another thing is it comes with this little rubbery thing to hold filters. So all you do is just put the rubber piece on there, and let's see if we can get the effect. Like I said, it's probably too bright in here, but you have like a little window effect, like light coming in from the window. Maybe the natural light one would look better on that. Something like that, yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is one of those gimmicky ones that they got me on, but yeah, it's a Smallrig, I think it's 10 watt max video light. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, it won't be coming with me to Guatemala. Okay, so another piece of equipment is, and Smallrig you did a good job on this one. You didn't get me like the gimmicky light. This one is their Magic Arm. And these are fantastic because you can just attach these to the side of a desk or maybe, you know, up high to get a different type of shot. I can hook up my Osmo Pocket and, you know, control the gimbal with the Mimo app, which will allow me to move it even if it's high up there. I can see it on the screen and get the shot, the angle that I need. But yeah, these are so compact and portable. You could even use it as an extension when you're talking, just to have the camera a little bit further away from you, right? A little bit further away to get more of a vlogging type shot as you're walking down the street. Yeah, this has been also a game changer. It looks like a simple item. It is a simple item, but it has a lot of functionality. And I would highly recommend you bring one of these as a travel content creator when you're on the road. The other thing that I would recommend, and I had it open here, it was in my bag. So this is the Insta360 portable tripod. I used to carry around the big tripod, which was so cumbersome. I had to find a way to strap it to my backpack. And it was a pain. It was a pain going through, you know, customs and all that kind of thing. Whereas this one, the Insta360, does everything that my big tripod could do, but in a smaller form factor, right? So you have your tripod legs here. Bring those out. There you go. And then it's very easy to just extend this up, and it gets as high as I need it to get, you know, right about there. And I can just put the Osmo Pocket up here and do some vlogging or maybe some active tracking where this is sitting still. Another great use for this is if you do any kind of motion lapse or if you do hyperlapse, because you need the camera to be steady, and you can just hook it up to the top of this, leave it alone, maybe getting the clouds moving over the volcano, or maybe volcano fuego spewing fire and smoke. You want to use something like this for a cool hyperlapse with that sort of a shot. So yeah, this one, always in my travel bag, my camera bag, and I think you would like it too. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for the gear that's coming with me on my next road trip to Guatemala. I am leaving at the end of the week, so it is, like I said, it's Halloween here. I'm just gonna miss Halloween. I'm leaving, I think, the day before, and then we'll be down in Guatemala for 2 glorious months. So a lot of times I'll think to myself, you know, I usually go for a month in October, and I want to come back for Thanksgiving here or Christmas. But then I remember that Guatemala doesn't do cold Novembers and Decembers, and the skies are just so beautiful, springtime. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to go for 2 months. We're going to stay down there for 2 months this time, and I'll be able to spend the holidays with my family. Most of my family lives in Guatemala. So I am your Guatemalan guy. I've been going there all my life, almost every year for all my life, and I know it like the back of my hand. And I'm not your typical YouTuber that lands in Guatemala City and takes a taxi service right over to Antigua or Lake Atitlan, or they'll say Lake Atitlan. It's not Atitlan, it's Lake Atitlan, get that right. I like to make a home base in Guatemala City. People miss out on Guatemala City because they think it's dangerous. But Guatemala City is one of the most cosmopolitan, sophisticated, bougie places you'll ever visit. And we linger there. So I'm going to be doing a lot of new content when I land in Guatemala and in Guatemala City, checking out the hottest restaurants, the coolest bars, rooftops, and the best shopping and coffee shops, right? And you won't want to miss that. So definitely, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. It helps me grow, allows me to make more and more of this type of content. And consider putting a like and maybe sharing the video. That would be fantastic. I think that's about it for now. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of new content coming up. Of course, it's not just going to be Guatemala City. We will go off to Antigua and Lake Atitlan, but we're going to do it different than other YouTubers do it. And we're going to give love to the small towns in Guatemala, which no YouTuber seems to give love to. But not us, not us. We're going to explore. We're going to check it out. We might even take a trip to the jungle and visit Tikal, which I have not been to in probably 40 years. I went there in my early 20s with my cousin Rodrigo, and that was an adventure. quite an adventure. It's changed a lot since then. Fortunately, the park hasn't changed, but as far as accommodations and where you can stay on Flores or near the temples, I think there's even a Camino Real there now. When I went, there were grass huts and rope bridges and no air conditioning. My cousin and I had to get drunk on gallo beer just to be able to sleep through the night because of the humidity and the mosquitoes. And we had like fans going, you know, pointed right at our faces and in our cots. It was that rough. And these huts were floating on top of the lake, you know, where Flores is. It was something else. It was something else. But I think those times were more interesting and more of an adventure than these luxury, you know, 5-star hotels that are there now. You know, you got to suffer a little bit to appreciate things in life. All right, so yeah, that wraps things up, and I will see you on the next video in Guatemala City.